beat.
But what I wanted to know was, can a woman be open about sex without being perceived as being easy? So obviously on Love Island, Maura always talks about sex. She always talks about how much she wants to do her thing, innit? So, but then again, she's also saying that she's only slept with 4 people.
Lies.
So, yeah, straight away.
My guy friends were saying this as well. And I don't think that she should be labelled as lying. Because you should be able to talk about sex and not have backlash for it. And I think that she did a really good thing by having a go at him. Because now she's taken control.
Yeah.
And none of the guys will like chat that way about her again.
Exactly.
But she should be like, just because you talk about sex doesn't mean you have sex all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you should be allowed to talk about it.
Exactly.
That's a great point, and it is true if it was someone else. But with Maura, I kind of feel that if you're sexual liberated and you want to talk about sex, get on with it. Nobody really cares about that stuff. But I just quoted some things because I thought, let me do my research on this. Now, Maura is upset because the guys are talking, so she's interrupted a guy's conversation. You girls have your own sort of conversations where you might say things in that quote-unquote group chat that we're not really supposed to read. Okay. So they've had their little talk about that. He said, let's see if she's all mouth and no action. Now she is spazzing out over this. Now this is the same girl who came in and said, she looked at Tommy and said, I want to sit on his face right now. Okay. She's come up and said, Anton, this was just about 10 minutes before. Anton, if we were outside the house, we would have effed by now. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying no, but these are. Now I'm not saying let's judge it and call her easy, because that's wrong. That's nothing to do with it. If you're speaking like that to me, I kind of feel maybe that banter, we can talk openly about sex. Maybe that you're a bit of a man eater. So by him saying let's see if she's all mouth for no action, this is what she's been talking about. But my thing is,
doesn't mean she's easy. No. But my thing, I'm gonna cut you there, because my thing is, if he really liked her. When you really like a girl, you're not gonna go speak to the man them and say to them, let's see if she's really all about mouth. Obviously he doesn't, exactly, because and he proved that.
Yeah,
he
but
proved that.
But this is about a week ago. She was throwing herself at Tommy.
Yeah, but what I'm trying, exactly, and then she's moved on, and she's moved on to someone else. Do you see what I'm saying?
But he doesn't like
when he came in, she's moved on to someone else. But what I'm trying to say, the reason why she was upset is because she started to like him, and she's heard him saying that to the boys, making her look like a fool. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's so disrespectful.
The way the guys, I saw something on Twitter, it's like the way the guys were talking about her is what you'd write in a group chat. But they're on TV and she heard it, so it's just 10 times worse.
It's not great.
I just think Tom is an idiot.
Yeah.
No, he is.
He's taken the biggest L. Yeah. Like, literally, it was so funny to watch. Like, him being like, I'm sorry, I've brought you a tea, like, in the morning.
You know what?
He had one job, though. He had one job.
It's actually funny.
One job.
Do you know what? It did get out of it. I think what I would have done, if you're on the verge of going into that hideout with a very attractive woman, we've all been there. If you drew a number years ago, and then you come back to your group of friends, you're not gonna hype it up, are you? You're just gonna. I would have told them, guys, don't talk to me. I'll talk to you about. I'll fill you in tomorrow morning, because all of this hugging around, the girl might see this. Yeah. But me personally, I would have lied, because he came back and he repeated what he had said. She said, "Oh, what did you say?"
You heard him say it.
I would have just said, "That's not what I said."
No, but she heard him.
Yeah, but then when they made up, though, she was like, "The one thing I'm glad you didn't do is lie."
It's true.
So you would have shot yourself in the foot.
The worst thing is she heard him. So now
is
we know
that
that the bear would lie.
But is it
so bad? You would lie. You just admit that you would lie.
Listen, I'm just on the verge of going to that. A very attractive woman. I wouldn't have even had the conversation anyway.
Yeah,
I would have told the guys, allow it. Tomorrow morning, I'll come and talk to you and walk off. And just sit in the corner by myself. I'm not going to flop this move here.
For real.
But
I'm really glad it happened.
How old is he?
I'm really glad. I don't know.
I think he's 27.
He's 27.
Was it that? Okay.
But that's not young though.
Was it that bad though?
I'm glad it happened because one, she now has power.
Yeah.
Then none of them guys are going to talk badly about her in terms of sex ever again.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a good narrative to have on TV to show that just because you talk a certain way, and those examples you gave were really good, but they're just a figure of speech as far as I'm concerned. Like people banter. Like I could say something like that to someone and it could be a joke.
That's true.
And also she was saying it directly to them, not to a group of friends behind their back. So that's the difference between Tom saying it to the boys and her saying it directly to the guys. And I just think it's good that women can, like, it's so topical. Women should be able to talk about sex and not be labelled one thing. And also, it doesn't matter how many men a woman has slept with either. So,
can I ask a question, ladies? Very honestly, though,
Okay.
if Mora was a man, and every other sentence, like else, we could just be talking about gaming, and the next thing I was just about to swear on it. I start, I bring up sex, or every other kind of joke is kind of. I'm like, oh my god, Wardah, I just want to go over there and just
Yeah.
Would you label me as a bit weird, or would you think, you know what, he's a bit too much?
Okay, so
This is
I'm gonna return it back with a question, including you
No,
guys.
it's-
No, I'm gonna return it back with a question. There's no rules. Is there any rules in this game? What I want to know is if a girl. If a girl was like Mora, who was saying to every single one of you, do you know what, I want to sit on your face, or you're really sexy and I find you this, you guys would love it. Don't go on like you wouldn't. You would love it.
I don't think they would.
So
And that's
you
why
would
turn
you
it
respect
around.
her though? That's the thing.
You probably wouldn't respect her, but
I
you
like
would
a
love
little
it.
bit of do you know what? I
You
think,
would love it. I think you guys are lying to say that you wouldn't love it.
to
You
be
would.
fair, if a woman ever spoke that openly to me, I think this must be a setup, because I'll be thinking to myself, is someone sent you? And that's probably why Tommy kind of had it on the plate with her, and I think she was maybe a bit too much with him, hence why he probably wanted a teeny bit of a chase.
I think
It's
he
not a
must
bad
have
thing.
made assumptions based on how she acted.
How she was acting.
But now he knows.
I reckon.
Okay, not to say anything is true.
I
And he didn't
reckon,
say anything
I
fair.
reckon because we're recording, you guys are saying, oh no, I didn't know. But I think if a girl came to you and she was hot, because Mora's a really pretty girl, and she was like to you, talking all these talks about sex, you guys would have it. I'm not saying you guys would wifey it, but I'm saying you guys would have it.
Ghost.
You've been very quiet.
Very.
Yeah, because I don't
You
watch
lost.
the show. I'm actually lost.
Okay.
But no, in that context, I don't know. I think I'd run with it. I banter back and forth all day long. I don't mind. I can talk that kind of talk with anyone. Anyway, it's calm with me.
What sort of talk? You just talk about sex
talk,
all the
anything,
time.
anything.
So
in
if
general.
Ghost
So
was
I'd
coming
go
in
back.
and busting sex talk all the time, you're laughing because I know, like, you would come up to me, tell me this guy's too much.
No,
Like he
no.
generally, like every other
I wouldn't
comment
tell
talk
you.
about
I would
sex.
tell him he's too much, but I don't feel like you would be too much.
Nah,
Well, he just said
there's
he
a
can
time
do
and
it.
a-
Like
but there's a
that.
time and a place, though, bro.
What to talk about?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a time and a place.
One thing I will say though is when Mora was trying to kiss Tommy on the face, like
Oh
he
my
was
gosh,
literally
yeah.
sat there and she was on his face kissing him. If it was the other way around, like you said, that would be so bad. It would.
Yeah.
Everyone would be talking about it. It is double standards a little bit.
yeah.
But to be fair, there is a lot of double standards, though. To be, let's be real, there is. though.
the show is full.
Yeah, no, there
It
is.
In general, to do women and men, there are many.
Definitely.
Double
But I think it is but
Many.
you guys have made fair points in terms.
Because in terms of if a guy sleeps with loads of girls and a girl sleeps with loads of men, she's called easy and the guy is rated. So there's so many double standards in different.
No, this is
But
one
then-
thing. It's
remember
like
I
men
said that to
are.
you. Remember I said that to you. I said to him that a guy will get heartbroken when he's like 60.
Yes,
old,
and they
he's
always
like,
refer
he's
back
like,
to it.
It's a joke.
As an excuse. If they
Ghosts are like,
They will.
if they play
yes.
a girl, if they hurt a girl, they'll be like, well, I got hurt when I was 15.
Yeah.
She didn't text me back, or she got with my
Some
friend.
little thing.
You were
But for
15.
him to go mess up a girl, mess up a girl because you got heartbroken when
And
you're
just
15
play it
years
as an
old.
excuse all the
You're probably
time.
one of those, isn't it?
You look hurt. He's like
no,
disheveled.
do you know what it is? She's just looked me. You know when you're in the comments.
No,
Cut
but
that,
do you know
edit
what?
He
that.
feels
No.
attacked.
Do you know what I do agree with you though? You know when you go to like a club or a house party and you're not loud like this though. Like annoyingly loud. He has to be loud over like take everyone and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't think that's good looking. I always think the quietest guy
Oh,
in the room
yeah, same.
is good looking.
Oh really?
If he's got a big presence and he knows this and he doesn't have to be shouting and doing the most, I think that's really good looking.
Yeah, I clash
okay.
with loud.
But that is interesting about.
You clash with loud people.
Yeah, well, no, guys. Like, I don't fight. I wouldn't, on a romantic level, definitely. I like someone that's a bit quiet, and when they do speak, they say something meaningful, as opposed to just being loud all the time.
Ghost, you've been very quiet in regards, and let me take all the bullets in regards
Yeah.
to
It's
this.
probably touched the nerve,
You could
isn't
touch
it?
No,
you,
it's.
B.
He's calm.
Easy.
But no, that is true. What you're saying is true to a certain extent. I think with all people, but I think with that one to a certain extent, it can be. Ghost, as I said, the fact that you got your eyebrows slit, for me, that is the telltale signs of a real player. Now, what are your
Since
thoughts
when?
about this?
I've never known this.
I've never
All
trusted
this.
a guy with split eyebrows.
You're
Judging
always-
people,
you're always-
assumptions
He's
being
always
thrown
gunning
about.
for
Trying to
ghosts.
throw
Like majority of the weeks, he's always gunning for
He's
ghosts.
deflecting.
You're always making it seem like ghosts are playing stuff just because you're trying
No,
to.
it is. Most
Deflect
light-skinned
out
guys
your
are
Oh,
cheaters, but
here we
Just saying.
How many
Just
minutes
saying.
was that, cameraman, before the light skin stuff come in?
Did I say?
No, God, that's his number one. Oh. But Ghost, no, honestly, coming back to it before we kind of wrap this up, what's your thoughts on what Els has said regarding a guy, you know, playing girls off the rebound of heartbreak and stuff like that? Have you ever experienced that?
Me personally, no.
Okay.
No, but I think it's a big thing. Definitely, you generally know the guys who allow this, who would make a big presence about sex and so forth. Sometimes they're the one who's had the least amount, but they obviously want to big it up to their peers or their friends who have been in that scenario.
I think that's mad corny though, isn't it?
I
To be
agree.
talking about something that
I
you've
agree.
never.
It is.
What, like most rap songs?
She's right.
I'm sorry. Like,
No.
Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah.
She's right.
No, but hold on, no, but
No,
no.
but
Okay,
you're-
I'm gonna
she's
defend
right,
the
though.
rappers now.
No,
I'm not. I
she's
didn't
right.
mean like.
Oh no, but I
It
know
could
what
be
you mean.
applicable to all music.
I think
but-
a lot of people can literally relate to what you're saying. A lot of rappers will rap about that.
Okay, she's gonna jump.
Male and female.
I'm
by
not
the
gonna.
way.
That's true.
I'm not gonna name names.
I didn't say to name names.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that it's true what you're saying to a certain
Yeah.
extent. But with me, when it's rap or female rappers, male rappers,
Yeah.
I still look at it as entertainment.
Yeah.
If it's a good song, it's a good song.
Yeah. Now you had a great gaming experience with KSI, but then you came out on a rant, and you made me. What is going on here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So YouTube's a whole new world. So you have Instagram, Twitter, which I was used to, and then YouTube is weird. It's a weird place. The comment section is like worse than Instagram,
Really?
Twitter, all them. Yeah. And I think with gaming, the audience tends to be younger. So I think like teenagers, young 20s. And so I did a video with KSI, and I think generally his audience, they are like, some of them will say racist comments and get away with it, because I think in gaming it's a big issue actually, racism.
Okay.
People are openly racist and they don't get any backlash for it, so that's something that needs to be addressed. But yeah, so in my comments I started getting people saying that I was his secret girlfriend and then all this stuff, and then a few weeks later I uploaded another video with LV General, and someone botted my video, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it's when people just create loads of fake accounts and dislike your video for a specific reason. So in my comments I started seeing like, why do you hate white people? Why do you only do videos with black men? Things like this.
Wow.
And then I was just like, what? And so then I uploaded another video and it got the same comments, and I got fed up, because I'm like, there's two things I won't tolerate. It is racism and sexism. Like I don't have any time for it, and I feel like the more people that speak out about it, the more it's going to help. At least, even if I've got like a small platform, I can at least address it and shut it down.
I feel like these guys that comment on your YouTube are just hating because they fancy you.
I think it's like
They
it's
fancy
young.
you.
That's why I'm saying they're
Yeah.
younger, but you just need to tell them not to, and then they'll stop. So hopefully.
Did KSI ever speak to you about how bad racism was in the gaming industry?
No, but I have I've networked quite a bit now that I'm in gaming. There's this collective called the Black Girl Gamers, and it's amazing. It's an amazing movement, and they do this live streaming on this app called Twitch, which is a big live streaming platform, and they have a whole group of women together, and they just try and empower and progress the movement of black
You
gamers.
don't really think about black girls. When I think gamers, I don't really see a lot of black girls who are gamers. I actually don't.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. And it's like, this is something I didn't even know until I started gaming. And there's another guy called Mr. Midas he does GRM's gaming show, and it's just a whole community of people in London that are trying to combat racism in gaming, and it is something that needs to be addressed. I didn't even know, which because obviously I haven't experienced it, but it's a big issue and it needs to be. I feel like people with big platforms need to speak out about it more. But
Does it ever make you weary on who you get on your show?
no, because I'll get whoever I want on.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it should be an issue. It makes me wary of the audience and how they need to be educated.
Yeah,
because they're young, like that, and that shouldn't be an excuse, but sometimes they are ignorant to it. So just by telling them, you're at least bringing it to their awareness. That's what I can
The
do.
flight thing. What's this?
Oh.
Yeah, what's...
So I have a phobia of flying, and I've had it my whole life, which meant I didn't get on a plane until I was 18. I went on a fear of flying course with British Airways
So
when
you
I was
must have
18.
gone on with the family when you were younger, and
No,
then this...
no.
Oh.
And I'd never been on a plane. Well, I went when I was 2 once, but I can't remember it at
Okay,
all.
yeah.
I just had I just knew I couldn't even go to an airport. If I saw planes flying in the sky, I would cry when I was young. Like, I don't know. Phobias are weird. Like,
No,
and
yeah.
trying to articulate it to someone that doesn't have it. It's like someone will tell me their phobia, and I'm like, why are you scared of that? Like, it's so
Everyone's
stupid.
got their own phobia.
Yeah.
We had an Arsenal player, Dennis. You don't even watch football. I don't know why, but Dennis Bergkamp, one of our greatest ever players, he couldn't fly. Like, he just wouldn't fly. So there's certain big games that he would miss in Europe,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
you can't really say, "Oh, you're on 100 grand a week." This guy has a phobia. That's it. You just
Yeah,
have to respect that.
exactly.
So,
And so yeah, I went on the fear of flying course, and then I was able to go on planes after that. Like, I would go on like summer holidays with my girlfriend, and then to New York, Dubai. And then this year, for some reason, I think it's a combination of starting the YouTube channel, being inside by myself a lot, having a lot of pressure on myself, putting pressure on myself. It just came back, and I had the same, it's just a weird feeling that you have, and I just knew that I was scared again. So when I got the offer to go to LA, I rang, I think it was my dad or my mum, and I was just crying, and they were like, what's wrong, like what's happened? And I'm like, I've got to get on an
Great
11-hour
news.
flight.
Yeah,
Great news, I'm going to LA.
But then,
It's so weird, but in life, I knew that if I didn't go on that trip, what's the point in the whole thing? Do you know what I mean? What's the point in spending all this time, all this hard work to not get on a plane? And I knew that if I didn't go, then I wouldn't go on any other trips moving forward. So I had to go. I tried hypnotherapy. Don't think it worked for me. I went to the doctor, got some medication. That also didn't work. But I still got on the plane, and I'm alive, and I made it. So yeah.
that's just amazing. No, honestly, it is really amazing. Where to next? Because I know it's every Wednesday and Sunday. Is this correct?
Yes, every Wednesday, Sunday.
Are you a gamer?
Do you know what? No, there's only one game me and my boys played. It was Pro Evo from the early 2000s.
Evolution.
Yeah,
Pro
no, like
Evolution.
we had the PlayStation 2. Basically,
It used to
was
be better
just
than
that.
FIFA, right?
It
And
used to
then
be.
it
That was it. It was really
switched.
like it
Yeah.
was really the amount of time.
It is kind of.
Pro's dead now, though, isn't it?
It's dead now, but I think the gameplay is still better.
I'll be honest, I was addicted. So even at work, when I was in one of my first jobs after uni was the advertising firm, I would work out like formations during work because I and I ruined one of my relationships because in the evenings I just went to go back and play my boy. Like if you
had
would
an
think about
addiction.
Pro Evo, it was so. But then after that, I didn't really get into the gaming and stuff.
Before even talking about you moving forward, how did you make that Sims look like Love Island? Like, how
Oh
did you-
yeah.
That's
Do
mad.
Do you know
She recreated Love
Yeah,
Island
Love
on
Island,
Sims.
that guys?
Is mad.
When I tell you that
No,
took
that's
me, I'd say 40 hours just sat on my computer, days, and then I'd created last year's villa just from Google, like zoomed out images, and it was just there. And then they released the new images for this year, so I had to go back and do it all again. But yeah, it took me a while. And I think to build like this, it's weird. The Sims, people who play it will just make like a big room and put loads of rich furniture because you'll use the cheat to give yourself loads of money. But to actually like have the skill to proper build, it takes a while. So
I think why a lot of people are saying to you, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you, is because you film like editing, like you film yourself being there for hours just getting everything done. So I think because everyone's witnessed you working actually really really hard to do everything, I think that's why everyone's really proud of you.
And I think that obviously you're an attractive woman, and I think because you produce your show, you edit it usually, and I know it's so sexist, but people will just be like, oh, there's a pretty girl, read this and present. But the fact is you're actually seeing that you are controlling this ship. Do you understand? And I think that's where a lot of respect goes to you. But honestly, I'm not even a gamer, but I'm just proud to see what you're doing. And just keep going. What is next? Who's on there next? Ghost? Is Ghost gonna get to play?
Yeah,
we'll play Mortal Kombat together. I'm still really bad.
Nah, you're cool, man.
I want to do a Sims game with you.
Yeah, you should.
I want to do like a girls' night out. and then we just like we're
I
just
would wanna see
like
this. Is this gonna be at over 18?
You know, I have
men.
I have all. On The Sims, you can install mods, so you can change the gameplay basically. And I have all these mods which make them like prostitutes, and they can be drug dealers.
If you ever get a sick idea about something anti-males, like
yeah, I can do that.
shout me.
We can torture the male Sims.
yeah, do you know, oh my gosh, that'd be sick.
There we go.
I'm down.
Guys,
They're gonna
leading
turn
each
left.
other, yeah, like really left now. If anything happens to a man that's linked with you, that the people will just be like, rare. You know what? This is evidence
Like
against
voodoo
you.
on The
my
Sims.
gosh.
Exactly. Els, thank you so much for
No,
coming
seriously.
down.
Thank
Honestly,
you for having
appreciate it.
me.
Come down soon. Make sure you check and subscribe
Yeah.
to Els the
Follow
Witch
her.
channel. Make sure you do. You're keeping it locked on the beat.
We are the beat of your city. The beat, London, 103.6 FM.